Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, it is getting so obvious that it's getting very difficult for them to maintain a straight-faced narrative. So now they're coming up with this very feeble and very weak denials. Guys, I bring you this: claims of Fulanis ownership of Nigeria reckless. And this is according to their lead, their very foremost lead, the Sultan. So that's the headline again: claims of Fulani's ownership of Nigeria reckless, and this is attributed to the Sultan of the Fulanis. So now let's now see what is being said in those quarters. The Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Mohammed Saudu Abubakar, has disowned a Fulani group's claim that the Fulanis own Nigeria from Sokoto to the Atlantic Ocean. He also said no one can Islamize or Christianize Nigeria. The group, Christian Fulani Nationality Movement, FUNAM, had claimed that Fulanis owned Nigeria and gave a notice of planned conquest of the entire country. So now, of course, notice of the planned conquest of the entire country is not really anything that is necessary. The entire country is already conquered, and of course the southern regions are protectorates of the Fulanis. So they are sub-regions and they are belongings, and they do in fact belong to the Fulanis. There's absolutely no question about this. The police commissioner in virtually every southern state is a Fulani person. The head of virtually all of the armed forces is virtually Fulani. The head of anything of any significance in Nigeria is virtually Fulani. So now them now saying that they are planning to conquer the country is really medicine after death. The country is already conquered, and the southern regions are effectively protectorates of the Fulanis. But it carries on. But Sultan Abubakar on Friday, at the celebration of the first annual Plateau State Forgiveness and Reconciliation Day, organized by the Interfaith Mediation Center in conjunction with the Plateau State Peace Building Agency, described the group's statement as reckless. So now this I'm pausing again. This group has made this statement now, and this statement is no less egregious than positions that Nnamdi Kanu has adopted. So now, is Yusuf Abichi going to be sent after this group? Is really what we are waiting to see. But then of course we can wait till kingdom come, because this group have not said anything that is not in alignment with what Malam Buhari has as his own set plan and his own understanding anyway. So why then would they need to go after somebody making this sort of a statement, especially when they've gone after people like Sowore for calling for good governance? So if these people are now making this statement, haven't gone after Sowore for what he did, just calling for a march to demand good governance in the country, what action then are they going to take against this group? Your guess is as good as mine, and we only have one guess really, and that action of course is none. According to him, the founder of Sokoto Caliphate, the late Usman Dan Fodio, never said anything about the Fulani owning Nigeria during his lifetime or in his books. He said, "I am the leader of the Usman Dan Fodio dynasty, and I have never seen anywhere in the hundreds of books that Usman Dan Fodio wrote where he said that Nigeria belongs to the Fulanis. What he wrote about was the role of Islam in leadership, governance, etc. His books don't mention the conquest of any land or claim ownership of any territory. People make statements that jihad is meant to Islamize countries, but I say no. Dan Fodio never came to Islamize any country. He only preached against bad government." So then, of course, Usman Dan Fodio then should be against Malam Buhari. But then, of course, we know about the tikia that these people use. That fake write-up was by those who don't want peace in this country, and we have denounced that. I am the national patron of the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, MACBAN. The association, that is, has been in existence for 44 years. There are two other organizations that I know, but others I don't know them. Please verify from us before you put blame on us. I am a proud Fulani man, and if I come back to this world, I would like to be Fulani again. There is nothing wrong with that, but to pin every problem on the Fulani is not ideal. He said not all the people involved in kidnapping, banditry, and other crimes are from the Fulani stock or members of Macban. They don't belong to the Mieti Kutihari Cattle Breeders Association. They are criminals. I don't know why security agencies allow them to be what they are. It is the responsibility of the security agencies, not mine. There are Fulani criminals just as there are criminal elements amongst the Barons, the Yorubas, the Igbos, and other tribes. On the claim that there are secret moves to Islamize Nigeria, the Sultan said it is not possible for anybody or group, Christian or Muslim, to do that. It is not possible for anybody to Islamize or Christianize Nigeria. It is not possible. 100% impossible. But we still have leaders who use their privileged positions, either in the church or mosque, to say many bad things, and nothing is done to them. They say things with impunity but never get punished, he said. According to him, such religious leaders must be questioned and, if found guilty, punished accordingly. He said Islam and Christianity preaches peace, and the leaders of the two religions must also preach peace. In his address, the Plateau State Governor, Simon Lalong, said his administration will continue to collaborate with security agencies in dealing with criminals and evil persons and groups that appeared determined to cause havoc in the state, as witnessed in the last killings in Mangu and Boku's local government areas. He said the duty of every good leader is to bridge gaps and reduce the factors that trigger mistrust, hatred, and bigotry amongst ethnic nationalities and religious adherents. According to him, this can only be possible if there is genuine commitment to truth and justice and faithfulness to the oath of office and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, especially by those who are elected to serve the people. He said, we must not always exploit the fault lines of politics, religion, and ethnicity, which can easily make us derail and create disharmony amongst the people. If we do justice to all, irrespective of differences, there will be peace and progress. Anything contrary will make us slide deeper into chaos. Another area where leadership and good governance needs to be critically looked at is the management of public resources in a prudent, accountable, and equitable way. This will facilitate the creation of jobs and economic opportunities, as well as reduce crimes. So this is now really what the lead Malami. So because of course we are saying Malam Buhari is the lead Malami, is the lead Malami. Malam Buhari is not actually the lead Malami. Malam Buhari, of course, is the life patron of the Mieti Kotihari group. So you have to make that distinction. The Sultan of Sokoto is the life president, but Malam Buhari is the life patron. So they have that alignment together. So this man now that is now speaking through forked tongues, you have to really weigh what he's saying against what we have on the ground. So Malam Buhari is a Fulani man. The Sultan of Sokoto is the leader of the Fulani people. Malam Buhari is the patron of the Mieti Kotihari, and the Sultan of Sokoto is the president of the Mieti Kotihari. So they have everything in common, and in effect, they are both leaders of their community of almost equal measure, but because of the religious bent that the Sultan of Sokoto has, because you have to remember the Sultan of Sokoto is the one that calls the prayers, especially during the fasting season, is the one that announces the fasting season in Nigeria, and I think in the whole of the sub-West African regions as well, for all of the Fulanis and pretty much really all of the followers of his faith. So he's the one that calls the starting of the fasting and the stopping of the fasting during the Ramadan period. So it has an alignment, a direct link, of course, to the Arabs in the Saudi Arabia. And really, to all intents and purposes, forget Nigeria, forget constitution and everything, really to all intents and purposes, Malam Buhari is actually a subject of the Sultan of Sokoto, because the Sultan of Sokoto is the foremost Fulani man as recognized by the Fulani people. They recognize Malam Buhari as a champion too, but as I said, this guy has more gravitas because of the position that he occupies, which is an evergreen position, a lifetime position, and Malam Buhari's position, of course, is just transient. You never hear of Mieti Kutehari in Sokoto, by the way. They never go there. So that should already give you another set of food for thought. So this guy, of course, sees everything that is going on in the country. He has a direct link to the person that purports to be the leader of this diverse country with a multiplicity of ethnicity. So he has a direct access and a direct link to that person, and he sits by as all of these things go on. We've seen the countless things that the Boko Haram the group have been doing to the Christians in the country, and this man also sees these things. And by the way, this Boko Haram, who are largely of that Hausa Fulani stock, they are also under his supervision, by the way. He cannot claim not to have some knowledge of who these people are, because these people are not from Mars, they are not from another planet, they are from amongst that community there, and that community is the most interlinked community in Nigeria, because they live a communal life which gravitates around their local mosque and their local imam, and their local mosque and their local imam reports to his superior, who then reports to his superior, to then report to either the emir or the sultan or whoever has patronage over them. So it's a very hierarchical society and a very structured society. And these Boko Haram people, they are not foreigners from China coming to do these things. They are not Yoruba men or Igbo people. They are not from Somali or wherever. They are from that Hausa Fulani stock, which the Sultan of Sokoto has supervision over. So he cannot claim not to have some, even if he doesn't have a full grasp of these people, and as he said, and is right to say, there are criminal elements amongst all people, but he cannot, with this thing going on for as long as he has, claim not to have some inkling of a direction to put a stop to this thing. And if he does, I'm not saying he does or not, but I am just going by his position and the hierarchical structure and the way their society is structured. It's very difficult for me to believe that this guy would not have some thing that he can help to aid to put a stop to this thing. Perhaps I'm wrong, and I hope I'm wrong on that. In fact, I'm almost certain that I am wrong on that, because it would be inhumane of him to know anything and not volunteer it to put a stop to this thing. But then, is this thing meant to be put a stop to? Is really where the question is. Well, not according to the group that has just come out, the Fulani Nationality Movement, FUNAM. So not according to them. They've already stated that the intention is to own Nigeria wholesale, and of course owning Nigeria wholesale is then not permitting any other form of faith belief apart from this. And of course, if you own something, then the people who live within with that thing that you own, they're not of equal measure to you. So of course, the subjugation of the Igbos and the Yorubas is of course what is now being stated as a clear agenda now. But then of course, this is just some obscure group, you would say. But if the Sultan of Sokoto felt the need sufficient to make a public statement about this, then you would have to then believe off the back of that, that this is not just some fringe group that is making this statement. Because if somebody of his status within his own community and within the wider Nigerian experience, if somebody of his status felt the need to rebut this statement that is being put out by these people, then he has given that statement enough of a gravitas, enough of a weight for him of that position to fill the need to respond to. So this is now where we are within the Nigerian space. So they are telling you already that they are coming for you, and they've not made shy of it in any way. It is not disguised. So now, how then you then are able to then make sure that you are not completely and totally subjugated is really where the question now is within the Nigerian narrative. But that, of course, is the $1,000,000 question. If you have the $1,000,000 answer to this question, then come discuss it with me in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you are making of this narrative in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, join you in the comment section. But here I say peace.